Hi folks, Van Prepper here. Today I wanted to give you an update on the New York SAFE Act. The way the court cases are going, we finally had a ruling, and this has taken, the lawsuits were filed very soon after the law was put into place, and New York State continued to drag their feet and get postponements, and it went in front of a federal judge, and we got our first ruling back. It's not a great ruling, but it's not unexpected. I think most people who uh, follow the court system understand that since these are federally appointed judges, and they kind of come into it with their own mindset already in place, that they're really the only relief that we're going to see from the SAFE Act and other laws like this are going to come from a ruling by the United States Supreme Court. So, without further ado, here's what the ruling says. That it said the judge said that the SAFE Act was constitutional. Now he is wrong, but that's what he said, and his reasoning was that the right to keep and bear arms was not taken away from the people in New York State, which shows just a fundamental misunderstanding of the Second Amendment. As we talked about, if you watch my video on the Second Amendment, shall not be infringed does not mean shall not be taken away. It means shall not be messed with or tampered with at all. So he is wrong on that. His two reasons were, he said it didn't take away the right to keep and bear arms from the citizens of New York, and that their ability to defend themselves, to have guns to use for self-defense, was not substantially impacted. First off, how does he know that? He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He has no understanding of the subject matter, obviously. Secondly, it again shows a misunderstanding of the right to keep and bear arms, pointing to self-defense as his primary thing that he looked at. And for those of you who watch my Second Amendment video, that is not that is one of the two reasons that the Second Amendment is in place, but only one of the two. And the other one is the thing that this is in direct violation of. So we're not going to see relief from this until we get to the Supreme Court. Now on to the good news. For gun owners in New York State, I can now do videos and I don't have to have 7 rounds loaded in my magazine. That was a stupid, absolutely made no sense part of the law. There's no demonstration or reason to believe that this made anybody safer in any way. And the judge looked at that and he said, this is 7 is a completely arbitrary number. Now he upheld the part of the law that says we cannot have magazines over 10 rounds. That's the part that I think once we get to a high enough court and we use, in this lawsuit, the people that bring the lawsuit are using the arguments that they're using, which is United States versus Heller, Heller versus the District of Columbia, demonstrates clearly that you cannot outlaw common use weapons or commonly used things, and the AR-15, the AK-47, and the 15-round magazines or 30-round magazines are standard issue. They're not high-capacity magazines. The first thing we need to do as gun owners is take back terms and stop using assault rifle and high-capacity magazines. These are terms come up with by people who don't even know what they're talking about, and they throw them around because it scares people that are not gun owners, that it scares them into doing things. And politicians largely drive all legislation by fear. So we need to get beyond that and stop using these ridiculous terms. They're not high-capacity magazines. Having 30 rounds in a magazine is just stupid. We don't even need to go there. But good news, and I'm taking that as good news, that I can now, without fear of being pulled over and having my magazine checked, have my magazines fully loaded to 10 rounds. That's pretty cool. So that's a small step to getting this whole thing tossed. But for right now, I think New York gun owners will take that and will be happy. I did not expect at all for the SAFE Act to be totally thrown out. So we'll take that. We'll continue to fight for repeal. We'll continue to punish the legislators who put this into place at the ballot box this year. And we'll see, if we get any traction with that. And we're going to continue to bring this fight in the courts. So that is an update quickly on the ruling that came down yesterday from New York SAFE in the lawsuit against the New York SAFE Act. I'm Van Prepper. Happy shooting.